Welcome to your yoga practice. So I wanted to focus on the side body today and give it a sense of spaciousness and a little more stretch, while also supporting the side bend by really accessing the core muscles. So that's the idea behind this practice. You'll want to have a pair of blocks if you have them available, and possibly a blanket or a towel for under the knees if you have sensitive knees. And we'll begin in a comfortable laying down position. So, starting with the body on the floor, setting the arms where they feel comfortable, knees can be bent or legs straight. See what feels natural and easy for you. And as the eyes close, start to notice the pathway of your breathing. Feeling the air travel through the nose, throat, chest, and belly. And watch it leaves the belly, the chest, the throat, and the nose. Taking a few moments just to land in the body and in the breath. And starting with that familiar waking up out of bed kind of stretch. As your inhale comes, reach the arms all the way back and the legs all the way forward. Get super long and stretched out on the ground. Let your exhale release entirely and settle into the back even more. Take the right hand, grab hold of the left wrist, and move the head, the shoulders, the arms over to the right. Start to move the feet over to the right and option to cross that left ankle over top of the right ankle. Gently pulling the left arm back as the left toes point forward, heavy the left shoulder blade to the ground. And take a really deep breath into the left side of the rib cage. As the exhale falls, bring the head, the shoulders, the arms back to the middle, the legs to the middle. Now the left hand grabs the right wrist. Move the head, the shoulders, the arms, all of it over to the left and the feet over to the left. Cross the right ankle over the left ankle. And if it feels okay for the shoulder, gently pull the right arm back as you point the right toes forward. Express the breath into the right side body. And starting to bring the head, shoulders, arms back to center, legs to center. As you breathe out, bring just the right knee up and in towards the chest. Interlace the fingers around that shin. Flex both feet, moving the knee a bit from side to side, just massaging the hip joint. Start to bring the knee to the middle, and as you breathe out, start to curve the nose up towards the knee. Shoulders out of the neck. Next option here, hover the left leg above the ground until you feel the hip engage. As the exhale comes, switch the legs. Find that nice squeeze of the left knee in towards the chest. And then continue this switch back and forth. Right knee in, left leg out. Finding that really nice hip flexion. Seeing just how far in the knee can come before you even interlace the fingers around the shin. And if this is too much for the neck, for the head, you might bring the hands to the back of the head and really push the head into the hands. When you push head into hands, you'll most likely feel your upper abdominals fire just a little more. It's a fun little trick. As you keep the legs pedaling, just warming up our center for the next 5. Keeping the breath consistent for 4. Bracing the abdominals, 3. Seeing if the face can stay pretty soft, 2. So take your time, end by bringing the right knee in, interlace the fingers around that shin, relax the left leg down, relax the head down. Allow the right arm to relax to the floor. Use your left hand to guide the right leg over you for a twist. See how it feels to guide the right knee a little further up towards the chest, kind of deepening the twist and guiding the sensation a little higher into the back. If that's too much, you can always move it away from the chest. Breathing out, we'll come into the counter pose. Bring the right leg over you and right hand on to the knee or shin. Guide the knee over to the right. Flex both feet, squeeze both glutes, support the hip and the inner leg in this stretch with the squeeze of the glute. Deep breath. Breathing out, ease the right leg to the middle and then send the right foot up into the air. Interlace the fingers on the back of the leg. And just as much as you ease the leg towards you, push the leg into the hands. You might roll the right ankle around. The toes are feeling a little tight, working the skin of the arch. End by flexing the right foot. Let the right leg just drift above you. Relax the arms down beside you and slowly float the right leg to the floor. That gentle descent. Once the foot touches down, give it that little observational shake. Notice if it feels a bit more spacious. Breathing out, bring the left knee in, interlace the fingers around that shin. Find that nice compression first. Soft shoulders, strong arms. Let the left arm relax down beside you and guide the left leg over you for the twist. You can always scooch the right hip under the left a little more. That knee can come closer up into the chest. If it's too much, lower it down. And if there's too much stretch across the chest with the left arm or any arm in the twist, you can always bring it closer to the body or rest it on the body. Just readjust accordingly. Make it feel sweet. Starting to leave this, bring the leg over you. Left hand on the shin, guiding the knee over to the left. Squeeze both glutes, flex both feet like you're doing a standing balance, but you're on the ground. Yes, this is foreshadowing. Deep breath. And start to coax the leg back to the midline, send the left foot up into the sky. Interlace the fingers on the back of the leg, gently pull the leg towards you as your leg resists into the hands. Feel that hamstring activation, and you might work the toes, the foot, moving it all around, getting rid of the little cracks and bubbles. Let your leg exist above you as you slowly float that left leg down to the floor, like a steady drawbridge. Once it meets the mat, give it that sweet little floppy shake. Feel the change. And once again, breathe in, reach the arms all the way back behind you, toes out in front of you, get super long. Feel that gentle sensation in the spine. Breathing out, tuck both knees up and in towards the body, wrapping the arms around the legs. Give yourself that gentle embrace. And bringing the hands onto the backs of the legs. If it feels safe, find that little rock and roll movement up and down the back, that little human rocking chair moment coming up, and we'll transfer right into a child's pose. So if it feels comfortable for you, have the legs a little bit wider so the torso can nestle down between the inner legs. If hips are high and away from the heels, let it be. If there's space, use the hands to push the hips back towards the heels, kind of deepening the crease in the hips. Imagine someone's hands were pressing the hips down as you start to walk the hands over to the right.
Option to place the left hand on top of the right and sink the left armpit down towards the floor. Take a long breath onto this side. And starting to walk the hands over to the left. Same option here. The right hand might go on top of the left. Sink the right side of the chest down and keep pushing back through the right sit bone. Deep breath. And slowly, we'll bring the hands back onto the mat. And as you inhale, float up into your tabletop position. Setting the knees under the hips, the hands under the shoulders. See how it feels to spin the fingers slightly to the sides of the mat. So the thumb and index finger form more of a J shape. And begin to draw circles with the chest, moving it all around, accessing different angles in the sliding joints of the wrist. Seeing how they're feeling at the start of the practice, self-assessing. Once you've worked a few angles in the wrists and the shoulders, come back to neutral, shoulders over wrists or slightly behind. Use your next inhale for cow pose, belly opening. Use the exhalation for cat back, rounding the spine, grounding all 10 fingers. 2 more, full in breath. Full out breath, letting your head just angle. Last one, breathe in. And breathe all the way out. Find a neutral spine and begin to walk the hands over to the right. Right hand off the mat. Feel your right side body scrunch. Left side body expands. Cat and cow into the spine. Inhale, breathe in, belly drops. Exhale, rounding the back, really push into the left side, let it expand. 2 more, breathing in, breathing out, finding that space in the left side. Last one, full inhale, full exhale as the right side body scrunches. Coming to neutral, crawl the hands over to the left. Placing them at shoulder distance, left side is scrunched, right side is wide. Breathe in, belly drops. Breathe out, back body rounds. 2 more. Inhaling, more space into the right rib cage. Exhaling, grounding into the knuckles. Again, full inhale. Full exhale. Flattening out the spine, bring the hands back into that neutral tabletop shape. Step the right foot to the back of the mat. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. You're welcome just to hold plank for the next 5 or so breaths, or if you're craving movement, guide the right knee outside of your right upper arm, and then step it back. Guide the left knee outside of your left upper arm, and then step it back. So if this slow mountain climber is working, come towards it, or just hold steady in plank for 3. Really guiding the knee to be outside of the arm to get the glute to fire as well as your side body. Last one. We'll meet in a plank position, knees down. If it's helpful, lower all the way to the front body, belly to ground. Tent the fingers on the floor or palms flat as you breathe in. Wave the chest up, wide arm cobra, glutes engaged. Exhale, soften the heart to the ground. 2 more. Inhale, float up. Exhale, relax and land. Breathe in, glutes firing, abs engaged. Breathe out, adding on to this movement. Inhale, lift the chest. Option here to dip the right shoulder to the floor. Breathing in, up. Option to dip the left shoulder to the floor. 1 more time each side, or just stay neutral and avoid the dip if it aggravates the front of the shoulder head. Eventually land the chest on the ground. Place the arms in a cactus shape, and as you breathe in, lift the arms, lift the legs, let everything float. Option to stay here or interlace the fingers behind the back. Push the knuckles towards the wall behind you, lift the chest, and option to add a little flutter in the legs. Feel the glutes and the hamstrings start to kick in, quite literally, for 3, 2, 1, relax it all down, choose a cheek, bend the knees, and let your shins sway from side to side, releasing through low spine. Bring the shins back to the middle and slip back into a child's pose. See how it feels, just relating to the breath in your child's pose. Feel the back and the side body. Placing the hands by the knees, come to stand on the knees at the back of the mat. Finding really good abdominal engagement here. Place the right hand on the front of the body, back of the left hand on the back of the hips. Send the tailbone down and scoop it forward. Feel your low abs really engage. Keep that scoop forward of the tailbone, almost like you're doing a crunch but in the air. Keep it as you let the arms relax down beside you. And on your exhale, start to wilt to the right. Right shoulder moving towards the hip. Let your head fall in that direction. Clench the belly to bring you back up, and then wilt to the left. Continue this slow wilting from side to side, all the while staying so solid in your center. So strong in the core. We're in what's known as a posterior tilt in the pelvis. So the hips, the top of the hips are going back. The tailbone is scooping forward. Low abs are doing their job. So we'll start to guide the torso back up to the middle, shoulders over hips, interlace the fingers behind the body, open up across the chest, push the knuckles down, maybe lift the chin, deep breath in. Exhaling, bring the hands down onto the ground. Curling the toes under, lift the hips up into your first downward facing dog. See how it feels, accessing the breath here, breathing into the body. Step the feet very wide in your downward facing dog. And as you breathe in, roll forward to a plank position. First option is to stay in plank or start to drop the heels over to the right. Send the left arm up into the air, reach the left arm up and over the ear, and then swim it down to the mat. Spin the heels over to the left, breathe in, send the right arm up into the air. Sweeping it over the ear, bring it down to the ground and start to swim from side plank to side plank for 3. Breathing as you swim for 2. This can also be done on the forearm if that serves you better. Once you have swum from side plank to side plank, find your neutral plank, lift the hips into that downward facing dog. Set the feet wide once again, soften the knees a little bit, and begin to walk the hands back towards the feet. Arrive in the forward fold, soft knees, reach for the elbows, and really let your spine hang. Even a sense of your brain dropping. Let the arms just drop. Keep a pretty generous bend in the knees. Take your left hand, reach for the outside of your right shin. Bend the left knee a little. Inhale, send the right arm reaching up into the air, twisting. Guide the right hand to the outside of your left shin. Bend the right knee. Inhale, send the left arm up into the air. And then continue this swimming motion from side to side. Inhaling the arm up. Exhaling as it crosses over, keeping the knees fairly bent here so that the twist moves into your mid-back, into your thoracic a little more. Taking the sensation out of the hamstrings, just adapting it. Just keep swimming. Yes, that's a Finding Nemo reference. Once you've swum to both sides, let your arms fully hang, let your head fully hang, and slowly roll up through the back. Let your arms and your head provide an anchor as you gently stack the spine. Letting your head arrive, rolling the shoulders back and down. Feet still set nice and wide. Begin to bend the knees a little bit, and we're gonna find the low abs again. Right hand on the belly, back of the left hand on the low back, scoop the tailbone forward, clench the belly. Like you're doing a sit-up, but you're standing. Keep all of this, relax the arms down beside you. Breathe out, wilt to the right. Let your head fall like there's a weight in your right hand. Clench the belly, inhale up, and then wilt to the left. Let your head fall. Find this slow, best ragdoll impression that you can muster as you slide in both directions. Really soft awakening of the side body. So once you have drifted to both sides, we'll meet in the middle, so to speak. Interlace the fingers behind the back, bend the knees, find more of a squat shape. Keep the chest lifted. Let your legs stay bent in this, just moving the torso like you're skiing downhill. Exhale, guide the chest down towards the thighs. And then breathe in, lift it up again, legs stay low. 3 more, exhale, bow. Inhale, lift the face, the chest. Breathe out to hinge. Breathe in to lift. Last one, exhale. Inhale, let your arms sweep forward, stay low in the legs and counter the breath. Let your legs feel so soft, legs feel strong. Breathing out, fold forward, hands meet the mat. Heel toe the feet to hip distance. Start to walk the hands back into your downward facing dog. Catch the breath, softening through facial muscles. Bring the big toes to touch at the back of the mat. Inhale, send the right leg up into the air, bend the knee, open the hip. Exhale, right knee outside of your right upper arm. Inhale, send the leg all the way up and back. Exhaling, step the right foot forward between the hands. Gently place the left knee down. Opportune moment for that blanket or that towel. Inhaling, arms up into the air for the low lunge. Drive the right heel back, the left thigh bone forward. Breathe out, relax the right arm down beside you. Inhale. As you exhale, wilt to the right. Keep really anchored in the right big toe, eyes on one spot. Engage the core of the legs to bring you back to the middle. Send the arm up, breathe in. Exhaling, hands behind you, interlace the fingers, open across the chest, deep breath. Breathing out, hands come down to the blocks. Consider medium height, either side of the right foot. Begin to shift back, lift the toes. Begin to lunge forward, find the knee. Find this back and forth movement a few times. Motion is lotion, so bringing a little bit of mobility into hamstrings and hip. So once you have done the back and forth a few times, feeling a little warmer, shift back with the right leg almost straight. You're welcome to stay neutral here, the torso bowing over the right leg, or walk the blocks over to the right. Really reach with the left hand as you drive back through the top of your left thigh bone and the left foot. Send the body in 2 directions. Left hand forward, left thigh bone back. Start to walk the blocks over to the left. This time the right arm is really striving as the right heel scrubs back. Breathe into the right side. Bringing the blocks to either side of that right foot, lunge into the right knee. Shin stacked over ankle, curl the left toes under, lift the left knee up. Left palm stays on the block or the floor. Inhale, send the right arm up into the air, twisting. Breathing out, right hand down. Spin the left heel to the floor. See how it feels to roll the torso up into your warrior two. A soft arrival, shoulder stacked. Extend the arms out in either direction. Once you feel steady, reversing the upper body. Breathe in, transition up. Breathe out, place the right forearm on the right thigh. Send the left arm up and over the ear, really subtle. Think of squeezing the left shoulder towards the left hip. Brace that side of you. Clench the belly, clench the legs. Squeeze the feet into the floor. The right arm might float up to join the left, but imagine the arms are hollow. Let tension instead be in the core and in the legs. Arms are soft. Finding a way to send energy where you need it. On your next exhale, bring the hands down to either side of that right foot. Move blocks if you need to. Step back into your plank position. Bending the elbows on your exhale, chaturanga. Inhale through either cobra or up dog. See what feels good. Exhale, either coming through the knees or guiding hips into the air, downward facing. Finding the breath as you land in the neutrality of your downward. Unite the big toes together. Inhale, send that left leg high into the air. Bend the knee, open the hip. Exhaling, guide the left knee outside of the left arm. Inhale, send that left leg high into the air. Breathing out, step the left foot forward between the thumbs. Gently place the right knee down, make sure it's content. Inhale, arms going up, biceps frame the ears, left heel scrubs back, right hip drives forward. Let the left arm drift down beside you. Breathe in. Exhaling as you tilt to the left. Linger in this side. Left big toe grounded. Eyes on one spot to help with balance. Feel your legs and your core engaged to bring you back to the middle. Left arm up. Breathe in. Exhaling, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Inhaling to feel the chest expand, palm squeeze. Exhaling, hands down to the blocks. Give yourself a little bit of space between the chest and the thigh. Begin that journey back and forth, shifting into the hamstrings, and then forward into the front of the right hip. Find this little dance back and forth, getting a little bit of motion in to warm things up, just a smidgle. We'll meet in the hamstring stretch. So first option is to allow yourself to stay where you are. Next option is to walk the blocks over to the left. Right hand really reaching forward as your right hip pushes back, right foot pushes back. Breathing out, walking the hands over to the right. Go as far as the body's willing to go, not overextending. Reach forward through the left hand as your left heel and sit bone moves towards the back of the mat, energetically driving back. Breathing out, bring the blocks to either side of that left foot. Lunge back into the left foot. Curl the right toes under. Lift the knee up. Inhaling, send the left arm reaching for the ceiling. Right palm pushes down to send energy up into the left fingertips. Breathing out, left hand down. Drop the right heel. Seal the pinky toe to the floor. Roll the torso up. Legs solid, upper body soft. Extend the arms out, shoulders over hips, feeling solid in both legs. Reversing the warrior, stretching the side body. Breathing in to come up, place that left forearm on the left thigh, right arm up and over the ear. Squeeze right shoulder and hip towards each other. Feel the side body fire. Squeeze your right kneecap, your abs, and maybe the left arm joins the right, staying so soft in the arms, so relaxed, like they're filled with feathers. On your out breath, hands to either side of the left foot. Step back into your downward facing dog. If you wish to slide through the vinyasa, go ahead and fulfill your wish, coming through plank, chaturanga, and up dog. If you ever feel that you need to skip those shapes or modify them, listen to the body, finding what works for you. Looking towards the hands, stepping, walking the feet forward, arrive in the forward fold at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift the back, flat spine. Exhale to fold towards the legs. Come right into chair pose. Find that groundedness in the heels, that lifting of the arms. Breathe in. Exhale, fold forward, hands touch down. Breathe in, step your left foot towards the back of the mat. Stack the heel over the toes. Bend the left knee so that left shin is more so parallel to the floor. Pressing into that right foot, slowly roll up into your high lunge. Send the arms up into the air, breathe in. Exhaling, right arm relaxes down beside you. Start to slide to the right. See how it feels to push the feet towards each other. Find that isometric tension. And then see how it feels to push the feet away from each other. Which one gives you more balance? Engage the core, pull back to the midline, right arm into the air. Breathe in. Exhaling, hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Open up across the chest. Shoulders can stay, or just by straightening the back leg, it will tilt the torso forward. Snow angels in the air. Breathe in, arms forward. Breathe out, sweep them back. 2 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, sweep. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out, sneak up on the blocks with the hands. Place them either side of that right foot. You might go a little higher this time. Space between the chest and the thigh. Shift back, pyramid. Toes lifting. Back knee can be bent if you need. Pay close attention to how the hamstrings feel. Take a long breath. Breathe out to bend the right knee. Inhale, send the right arm up into the air. Find that twisted lunge. Exhaling, bring the right hand inside of the right foot. Drop the left heel. Crawl to the left side of the mat, wide-legged forward fold. Align the feet to where you feel in control. And as you exhale, bend the left knee any depth. Stretch out that right inner leg. 1 breath at the back of the mat. Looking to the right foot, launch in that direction, pivot, and place the hands down either side of the right foot. Slow this moment down. Pressing into the right foot, slowly step the left foot forward beside the right, sneaking in a little warrior 3 moment. Once the left foot lands, relax the arms, relax the head. Breathe in, lift the spine halfway, flat back. Breathe out to fold. Land in chair pose, bending the knees, lifting the arms forward. So pressing down into your right foot, spread the toes of the right foot. As you inhale to rise, bring the left knee up and in towards the chest. Hands onto the hips. I'm gonna do that annoying thing where a yoga teacher keeps offering things up until it feels almost impossible, but I believe in you. Start to guide the knee open to the left.
Call this Captain Morgan for obvious reasons. You might stay in this very active external rotation, hip flexion, or bring the sole of the left foot to your right inner leg for tree. The foot can be high or low. What version of tree is going to help you feel grounded? Relaxing the shoulders, eyes on one spot. This is where it gets wonderfully weird. We've been here before, so you're welcome to stay, or let your left arm relax down beside you. Right arm goes up into the air. As you breathe out, tilt to the left as your hips move to the right, and feel your right foot really work to hold the floor. Tilted tree. Engage the core to come back to center, stacking the joints, bringing the hands onto the hips. Guide the left knee in front of you, either just keeping it as it is, or if you're a fan of extending the leg forward, go for it, and then float the foot to the ground. Good, relax. Place the top of the right foot on the floor, roll the ankle around a little bit, reclaim the breath. I taught this sequence in a class this morning, and I said, I know this is asking a lot, and without skipping a beat, one of the students said, yeah. So if that's how you're feeling, you're not alone. Feet at the top of the mat. One last standing sequence. Inhale, have a seat. Find your chair pose. Exhale, fold, hands meet the mat. Breathing, guide your right foot towards the back of the mat. Bend the right knee generously, shin parallel to the floor. Push the ground away with the left foot as you stack the spine. Slow arrival, solid legs, soft face. Breathing in, arms up into the air. Breathing out, let that left arm relax down beside you. What worked for you? Pushing the feet away or towards each other, and then slide to the left. Breathe into the right side, overly orient your awareness in the legs. Inhaling, grip the core, come back to center, send the arms up into the air. Exhaling, hands behind you, place a weird thumb on top, make it feel funky, shoulder blades together. Staying here, working the tension of scrubbing the feet towards each other, or straighten the back leg, torso tilts forward, snow angels. Arms forward, breathe in. Arms back, breathe out. Again, inhale. Exhale, last one, seems appropriate. Recording this on the first snowfall of the year. On your exhale, sprinkle like snowflakes your hands to the blocks. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Shift back into pyramid, lifting the toes. Take a breath here. You might have a little bend in the knees to soften this. Breathing out, bending the left knee, right palm stays down. Inhale, left arm spins up into space. Exhaling, left arm down, right heel drops, crawl to the right, find your wide-legged forward fold. And as you breathe out, bend the right knee, stretch that left inner leg. Pressing off the strength of the right foot, launch to the top of the mat, pivot, place your hands either side of the left foot, and slow this transition down. Slowly step the right foot forward beside the left, strong in the left leg. When the foot lands, spread the toes, place them down, folding, soften the knees. Inhale, halfway lift the spine, glutes and hamstrings engaged. Exhale to fold. Pull up a seat and chair. Last standing balance. Now you know what's coming. Kind of works for you. Shift to the left foot. Inhale, drive that right knee up and in towards the chest. Work how high the hip can go. Really find that active hip flexion. What can you bring to it with the hip? Be curious, not judgmental. Guide the knee, open to the right, working your Captain Morgan for a bit, and then eventually landing that right foot along the left inner leg. The foot can be high or low. If you have a wobbly side, you might devote a little extra focus. For me, my left side is my wobbly side. So a little more awareness, a little more patience. Engaging your center, let the right arm relax down, send your left arm up into the air. So neutral tree or tilt to the left, tilt to the right as your hips move to the left. Ooh. Wobbly side. Engage your center to come back to center. And if you've never done this before, be so incredibly patient with yourself. Hands onto the hips. Guide that right knee out in front of you. This might be more than enough. Or extend the right leg forward. Doesn't matter how high, just doing the work. Float it to the floor and take some deep breaths. Shake it off. Taylor Swift. Tap the top of the foot on the floor. Roll the left foot around because it was really, really working. All your little metatarsals and toes really activate when you're doing that tilting balance. So give them some love. And we'll do a little salute to the sun to guide us to the ground. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge through the hips. Inhale, lift the spine halfway flat back. Exhale, placing the hands down, stepping back, strong plank. Knees down if it's helpful. Bend the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale through either cobra or upward facing dog. Let the core and legs pull you back through the air, downward facing dog. Observe the breath in downward. Observe the overall feeling in the body. And then eventually land the body in your child's pose. However you'd like, whether it's arms forward, knees together or apart. Let the breath really envelop all sides of the rib cage. And starting to lift the chest away from the floor, bringing the legs out in front of you. And extend, we'll start with the left leg extended forward, pull the right knee back, having a seat on both sit bones. You can always sit up onto a blanket or even a cushion if there's a lot of rounding in your back in this position. Flex the left foot. Left arm inside of the left leg as you breathe in, send the right arm reaching up and over the ear. Imagine someone's knee is grounding the top of your right thigh bone, staying really rooted in the right hip as you breathe into the right side. Can even feel nice to work the angles of the chest, rounding down and then spinning up. You're going to access different parts of the side body, low back, all that good stuff. So it doesn't have to be static. You are not stuck. When you're ready to rise, inhale to come up. First option, you might just bring the hands to either side of that right knee, dip the chest. If you'd like to find a little bit of a back bend, a little bit of play, bring the right hand behind you. Bring the left heel to the ground, roll onto the right shin, step onto the left foot, joy pose. Open through the front of you, give it some drama. Exhaling, lower the hips to the floor and simple switch. Right leg out, left leg in. Making sure the sit bones are happily grounded. Again, you can elevate yourself here if you have a bolster or even just a couch cushion. Flexing the right foot, right hand inside the leg. Can always be outside as well. Again, options. Left arm sweeps up and over the ear, slide to the right. Once there's enough sensation, breathe into it. And you can work the curving of the chest down, the spinning of it up, or just holding steady. Really express breath into the left side and direct the head where you can breathe. So if that's looking down, look down. Inhaling, transition up. Option A, chest just dips over top of the leg. Another option, left hand goes a little further behind you on the diagonal. Right heel on the ground. Roll onto that left shin, lift the hips, reach the arm back. If something's been on your chest, let it go. Breathe out, lower the legs and step the feet nice and wide. Hands behind you, let your knees fall from side to side. Find that inner and outer rotation. So hands can stay behind you for this. If you want a little FRC, functional range conditioning, then bring the arms out in front of you, stack the forearms, really press into the heels, spinning through the hips. Play with the position of your feet. So you might set them wider or closer together if you're wanting to access this. If you're like, not today, that's fine. Keep the hands behind you and enjoy being your own support system. Not bad. Bring the knees back to the middle and we'll begin to lower down onto the back. So this can be fast or slow depending on where you're at. Arms reaching forward, that slow roll down. You can always hold on to the backs of the legs if that makes more sense. Landing on the floor and take a brief moment just to quite literally enjoy the floor. Feel the support of it, how things have that permission to soften. Float both legs up into the air, both arms up into the air. Roll out the wrists and the ankles, just letting the limbs exist above you. We've been in a lot of asymmetrical shapes in this practice, so we're just going to take time to be in more symmetrical positions. So just feeling that long neutral line in the spine. Guiding the inner legs together, bringing the hands onto the backs of the legs and gently pulling the legs towards you, forward fold on the back. Let your hips stay glued to the mat so that it's a little bit of a truer stretch for the hamstrings. Flexing the feet quite a bit if you want a calf stretch as well. If you have a strap, beautiful moment to hook it around the feet and use it as a nice tool of resistance for the feet to drive up into. So once you sense that the hamstrings have softened a little, exit through a happy baby pose, bending the knees. You can grab the feet. If they feel far away today, grasp the shins. Or you can even hook the forearms around the backs of the knees, pulling them to the side, finding a little bit of motion. I recommend finding a happy baby shape that allows your shoulders and neck to participate in the softness. Once you have channeled your inner baby, collect the legs together, wrap the arms around the legs, give yourself that well-deserved embrace. And as the feet come down onto the mat, a couple options here. If you're wanting to go in the direction of opening through the hips, come to that symmetrical supine butterfly pose. If you're feeling the need to go inward a little more, subtle inner rotation, then step the feet wide onto the mat, knees knocked together. See what you are naturally drawn towards, and you always have the option to change your mind. And as you settle into the shape that feels good for you, place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart to connect to the pathway of the breath, to connect a little more deeply to the body, offering gratitude towards yourself for setting aside this time to slow down and seek peace. I invite you to rest here for as long as you need to feel more of that peace permeate you and balance come back to the body. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat. Sending you peace.